crap.
Baloney.
Bullshit. Hogwash. Baloney. Bullshit.
Baloney.
Bullshit.
Rubbish.
Bullshit.
Crappy.
Mega crap. Bullshit.
Everything that guy just says, bullshit. Thank you.
All right, so today we are going to discuss a couple topics. Shay, what are we discussing?
We're going to talk about Halloween and the Joker and see where we go from there.
That sounds like a conversation we just had before we started the podcast where you said, I believe we'll talk about Halloween and the Joker and see where we'll go from there.
Yes.
Awesome. So, because we planned this very well right before the podcast, we made a decision on what we will talk about. Today we do not have a guest. That's because we're doing this in the middle of the week at 8 o'clock at night. So, not to give us a 8:09. Yes. All right, so I think we should talk about the Joker first.
Yeah. What did you think of the Joker?
I thought it was amazing. I think that the hype to have it kicked out of theaters only helped it, because that is the only reason why I went to see it.
Yeah, it's like it won a record of like highest grossing R-rated movie. It did better than Deadpool, which is nice because I didn't really care for Deadpool all that much. I don't love Marvel movies, and Deadpool was no exception. I mean, it's fine. I don't particularly care for that kind of humor.
I personally liked Deadpool. I think you can fuck off.
I mean, it's fine. I just find the character annoying.
I actually, well, that's the whole point, right? He's an annoying character who breaks the fourth wall, tells a bunch of fucking jokes. Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like fourth wall breaking either, usually, unless it's done really well.
It's done in the comic book. It was just following what it already does.
I know. You know what I did like fourth wall breaking in, though? The funny games, but I digress. I liked the Joker. It did good in the box office. I think it just got all of that like negative press from everyone was worried about the incel movement or whatever. And then I think another big part of that too is just because of the shooting that happened during the last Batman movie that came out.
Sure, but the part that I think is total bullshit about all this is they were saying it glorified gun violence. And the reality is it did not. It did the opposite. It said that guns were fucking lame.
It really didn't, like... You're not rooting for the Joker at any point in the movie. Like, you don't like... I feel like he was, like, not a very likable guy. Like, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. He's kind of like... It's kind of like Taxi Driver, except I'm not on Robert De Niro's side.
Well, here's the thing, though. I actually was on the Joker side. I saw what was going to happen before it happened as far as the shooting that happened in the subway terminal or in the subway.
Yeah,
and
those guys were assholes, but they didn't deserve to die, and I feel like he took that a little too far, especially like the point where he, shoots the guy on the stairwell is the point where you're no longer with him,
Sure, I get it. I also get that people get angry. I mean, there's breaking down, right? Dude fucking loses it, starts fucking doing bad things to people. It's the way it is.
Yeah, you still go to jail for that.
Sure. And the Joker was going to jail. I don't see that he wasn't being punished for his crime. I also think that back to that glorified gun violence thing, I think it didn't glorify shit. It showed that guns shouldn't be out and given away like that.
Well, I mean, he was just given a gun.
Right. He was.
Like, I don't know that guy with his mental health record could actually go to a store and get a gun unless he's in like Texas. Definitely not in New York, which I know it's not New York, but
it's Gotham.
Still.
It's a representation of New York.
Yeah, it's basically just New York.
It is New York.
Yeah, it's shot in New York too.
Right. So it's New York. Like there's no question there, but as far as gun violence is concerned, they were showing how dumb it is just to hand out guns. And I don't think that glorifies gun violence at all. I think...
Well, I think it's funny that people are saying that, like, I mean, there are literally people saying, I can't endorse this movie because it's violent and disturbing. I'm like, this is not that violent and disturbing of a movie. Like, have you missed... do you just not watch R-rated movies?
No, the reason why I think people were really bothered by it is because it hits home. I think it hits home for a lot of people. I'll openly admit I got disabled a while ago. I spent 9 months looking for a fucking job. And
Yeah.
I'm qualified, and I'm not going to talk about where I work, but I will say that I am well overqualified for what I do, and I'm getting underpaid. The only thing good about it is I would say the company I work for is a good company. They treat their people well. I'll give them that. The company that they work with also has good goals to help people. It's a positive atmosphere, and I get to help people all day. But I'm underpaid, and I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I recognize that. But it took 9 months for me to get something that was not right.
Yeah,
I can do it, and I can do it well, but it's not what I should be doing.
Getting a job is hard.
Yeah, it was fucking ridiculous. So I can relate to everything that was going on with him, besides his mental illness. But I can relate the frustration of trying to do what you want to do, try like everywhere you step, something else is going fucking wrong. And we all have things in our life that stress us out, that put us down. Some people are lucky enough to get some social services, and then later on they cut them. I think people related to that fucking movie, and I think people got scared of the fact that they related to it.
Yeah, well, and I think it's just like sensitive critics that are having a problem with it. Most people that I talk to say they're fine with it. I really don't think that this is anything new or groundbreaking. Like, I feel like I just watched Taxi Driver in the last comic? I just feel like I just watched a Scorsese film, but not directed by Scorsese. Like, it borrows a lot from a lot of other things to the point where it doesn't feel like its own thing. But I definitely enjoyed it, and I really liked what they did with Batman's dad, Thomas Wayne.
For sure. They made him an asshole.
That was the best.
That was really cool.
Well, because, like, all you ever see him in, like, the comic books and video games and all of that, you only ever see him as this, like the reflection of what Bruce saw him, right? Like, my dad was perfect.
Right.
Because he's, like, 8 years old or something when he dies. So it's nice to see the Wayne family cast in a different light.
Did you get that they put another Joker in there?
Did they put another Joker in there?
They put a future Joker in there. So the guy who kills Wayne, right? Mm-hmm. The guy who kills eventually becomes the Joker as well. It's legacy. You recognize that, right? Do you remember the first movie?
I don't remember that.
Okay, so
are you talking about the 90s Batman?
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen that.
So
I haven't seen that since I was like a kid.
In the 90s,
I love it.
In the 90s Batman, and in some, and like I said, this is bullshit podcast. Let's not fucking hold me to this, but I will go with the knowledge I know. And in some stories of Batman, because they change them all the time, they reboot whatever. There's the scene where Bruce Wayne, his dad, and his mom are coming out of the theater, and essentially a criminal comes up and shoots his mom and his dad, and then he moves on. That's the Jack Nicholson Batman. That's exactly how that one starts.
I need to rewatch it. I haven't seen that movie in forever. It's my favorite of like the Batman movies, though.
You know what I heard?
I
heard they're asking Michael Keaton to come back.
That'd be great. I'd love that. I'd love to see like a Frank Miller Batman live action movie.
I think they're talking about like a Batman Beyond and bringing him back.
Oh, that would be sick. I love Batman Beyond.
Yeah, that'd
be really cool.
It was absolutely great. But I think what they're trying to show is the Joker never dies. And so obviously the Joker is probably in his mid to so how old is what's his name who played him? 3.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix.
Right.
He's 45.
All right, so he's 45. Batman's supposed to be 8 at that time, right? Mm-hmm. So Batman becomes an adult. Let's say he's 25. That would make the Joker 70. So I think what they're doing is making legacy. The next guy who's gonna be the Joker is the guy who.
Joaquin Phoenix did a great job, by the way. I really enjoyed him in the movie quite a bit. He's good. He's good in like everything he's in.
There's a few scenes.
He really is.
There's a few scenes they let that changed because of him. Are you aware of that?
I'm sure.
So it was the director and him. So specifically the bathroom scene, I know for sure. When he right after he kills, he does the first kill in the subway. He runs out. He goes to that nasty ass fucking bathroom, which I will say was shot cinematically beautiful. So then, originally he was supposed to hide the gun clean up, and get the fuck out. Well, the director threw on music and said, do whatever you want to do. And that's how we got that scene.
Oh, nice.
Again, that could be total bullshit and hearsay, but it's something I read somewhere.
Francis, is it Francis or Francine? I think it's Francis Conroy. She did really good too. Francis Conroy,
the girl,
the mom.
Yeah, she did really good. I was pretty impressed with how they handled that whole situation. Although I could have put money, down that it was gonna be that.
What? That she's just like a narcissist?
That she's not. She's in his head. Oh, the mom. No, I got confused. You better cut the shit out of that.
Yeah.
No,
we're gonna leave.
No, we're not leaving that.
No, the mom. Yeah, she was great.
Fucking awesome.
She was really good. I found her character more compelling than Joaquin Phoenix's. Like, I wanted to know more about her.
I don't know if I wanted to know more about her, but I think she filled her space well. I think her part as a supporting actress she was amazing. I've seen her in a bunch of stuff, and usually when I see her in something and everything else is bad, she always tends to be good.
Yeah, she's great. And then the one you were talking about is Zazie Beetz.
Zazie Beetz.
I like that she was mostly in his head too, because I was like, there's no way this girl's like about this crazy man right here. There's no way.
Not even that. There was no way some girl's going to walk in after you've been stalking them all day. Not to say that I've stalked anybody that I am aware of. That you've stalked all day, come in, knock on your door, and go, I thought that was you. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Thanks for stalking me. That felt out of place. And then, like, when he was fucking up in the comedy club, and she's, like, just sitting back there laughing, I'm like, nah.
Yeah, no.
No way.
But here's the...
Plus, people don't go see your first comedy show. Like... People just aren't.
No. I think they go to the first one and then they don't show up to anymore. Because then they see how bad you are.
But yeah, she's on Atlanta, and she does a great job in that. If you want to see, like, I mean, Atlanta is a really good show.
You know what I thought who was really good was Robert De Niro.
I just like Robert De Niro and everything he's
for sure, but I would have never seen him that way. Like, I couldn't have seen him. You couldn't tell me that he could play a talk show host. I could have never seen it. That I
Oh, he's a good actor. He just gets he's been typecast, right?
For sure. Absolutely.
Like, yeah, I mean, he's been typecast probably since Goodfellas. Well, definitely before Goodfellas. Like, he's just like, they always make him a mobster. But he you know, if you've seen, like, Taxi Driver, he's not really a mobby guy.
Yeah, but he's still a badass guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't play a badass.
I don't know that I'd consider him a badass. But, like, it's really interesting to see him in this because he's basically playing the antagonist of, like Joaquin Phoenix is basically just, you know, the driver from Taxi Driver.
I could see that.
So it's, like, interesting to see kind of him kill himself.
How gross was he?
If that makes sense.
I see that. But how gross did Joaquin Phoenix look, though? How skinny was that motherfucker?
Oh, yeah. He looked pretty gross.
I've heard the running joke that he, another in their series, another Batman star was the Machinist. Is he skinnier than the Machinist? And I think he might be.
No.
I think he's skinnier than Christian Bale in this.
No, Christian Bale and the Machinist is like, that was crazy. He like dropped so much weight for that, and that was like right after he did Batman and had to be all bulked up too.
He did the Machinist after Batman? I thought he did the Machinist before Batman. I don't know if I buy this.
And then he did another Batman movie after that. Yeah. Christian Bale's nuts, dude. That man's a real actor.
Yeah, but you know what? There's something about him I don't like. I didn't like his Batman, I gotta be honest.
Oh, no, yeah, no. I mean, that was phoned in. The whole Batman, like, okay, everyone's gonna hate me here, but I think the Batman trilogy, the Nolan Batman trilogy, was just completely phoned in from everybody except for maybe Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger did a fucking amazing job.
Like, the middle movie is good. I do not like Batman Begins, and I do not like The Dark Knight Rises. Like, those two movies are not, like, I don't think they're good. I was not interested in them. I don't think Christian Bale did a good job.
I want to know.
I don't think it's Christian Bale's fault, though. I think he's just collecting a paycheck. And I think Christopher Nolan, for those movies, was just collecting a paycheck. He was making something that they wanted him to make so he could go make what he wants to make. And now he can go do Dunkirk. And
no fucking way. I don't say that's the case. I think that you get a hold of a superhero movie, like, you don't phone that shit in, because when it does well, you get to do anything you want. And the part that
Yeah, but Batman Begins, I don't know how they even got a sequel out of Batman Begins, because I don't think anyone really liked Batman Begins.
Yeah, I didn't particularly like it. But there's worse Batmans. I mean, Affleck is the worst fucking Batman to ever walk the face of this planet.
You know, I initially enjoyed Batman versus Superman.
Nope. And
I don't think Affleck was a good choice either. I don't really like Ben Affleck in movies.
I hate Ben Affleck in movies. Good for him that he makes millions of dollars. And should we become somewhat of a good podcast someday, and maybe somebody like him comes on, meaning him, like, I'm not going to be an asshole to him, but I'd rather.
No, I've got mad respect for him. Him and like his buddies just like make a bunch of movies for themselves.
Oh, I know.
It's really
It is cool. I respect him. Here's another one. Keanu Reeves. All right. Separate. He'd make a good Batman, though. I think it'd be pretty funny. Keanu Reeves, I don't think is a great actor, but as a human, he's one of the best fucking people out there. That guy's been...
Keanu Reeves is kind of like with Nicolas Cage, right? Like, Nicolas Cage is cool in the movies that he's cool in, and he has to be written well for. Keanu Reeves is great in movies he's written well for, but like, when he's in stuff that's not written for him and he doesn't get to be a badass, he doesn't shine.
But it's not even that. I'm saying as a human being, Keanu Reeves is a good human being. Nicolas Cage is awesome. A fucking idiot. Like, that guy is not a cool human being.
Yeah.
I'll go, blow all my money and fucking be bankrupt and do all kinds of stupid shit and buy fucking haunted houses because I think that's fucking cool and have nothing. Whereas Keanu Reeves not that dude. Keanu Reeves is just a cool guy. The dude rides the subway every day.
I'm just saying that they both have to be written well for to act well,
Sure. I agree. You have to write with them in mind.
Where with like Joaquin Phoenix or like John Malkovich,
sure.
right? You can put them in anything and they're going to shine,
sure.
Right? Like John Malkovich, he could be in the worst movie, but I'll go see it just because.
But he's a shitty human being.
Is John Malkovich a shitty human being?
Yes, he's a shitty human being. That is my understanding. That's what I heard. You heard it here first, that I may be totally full of shit, but everything I've heard about him is that he is actually a shitty human being.
I mean, I hear Sean Penn's a dickhead, but I mean, I like his work.
But also, I would like to know one more thing about Batman, and we can get back to Joker, because I just can't help going off topic, is why all of a sudden did Batman talk like this? I'm Batman.
Oh, that was there's like a whole thing behind that. Like, I guess he was trying out different voices for Batman, and the director was like, Christopher Nolan was like, yeah, I like that.
So it's Christopher Nolan,
and made him do it for the whole.
So it's Christopher Nolan's fault, and then Ben Affleck fucking did it too.
I don't know. I guess that's just what they think now. I like that Michael Keaton didn't have to do that. Michael Keaton just talked like regular.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, Michael Keaton was a good Batman.
And he's not even the original Batman.
You know what's really funny? No, Adam West.
Adam
West is a good Batman too.
Adam West was the best. He understood all of it. He understood that he was bringing this TV show out, that he can be fucking kooky and crazy, and he played it cool the whole fucking time.
And with the boner most of the time.
I've never looked. I mean, to be honest, that was my age. I grew up with watching Batman on TV, probably the tail end of it. And I don't remember seeing or looking at his spandex to seeing if he had a boner.
Yeah, there were definitely some scenes where you could see it, especially in the Batman movie that they did, which is great. I didn't realize that wasn't supposed to be a joke. Like, that was just how TV was at the time. My parents talk about it, and because we watched it, and I was like, wow, this is silly. I can't believe Batman ever became, cool. And they were like, oh no, this was cool. This wasn't a joke.
Don't age me with your parents. I'm just going to point that out right now. Don't age me with your parents.
Well, they were like little kid, or they were like little kids, maybe even like preteens when that show
You're
was
so
out.
fucking killing me. You're killing me. So I will say that I am 43 years old and Shay is young.
Yeah, I'm 25.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm an old man, and that's fine. I have some experience. I age like a fine wine. I turn into vinegar.
I'm into that meme culture.
Yeah, so oh man, this brings up another topic for me that we shouldn't move into. But we can. Memes. Memes are fucking lame. I want to talk about memes. Do you know what a fucking meme is? Your fucking generation doesn't have any idea what a fucking meme is. Just so you know. You guys change it. It's the same thing. Oh, this is a whole topic. We're going to get another 30 minutes out of this. Do you know what
Let me see.
Go ahead.
So like a meme, right? The definition of a meme, right, is like an idea or behavior that goes from person to person within a culture. And like memes, which are images that have funny, like,
oh no, they weren't there before
words.
That. Images, funny words, they weren't there before that. It's something. In fact, look up the definition since you have access.
Did you like make them on
we
like
didn't.
Microsoft
it was
Word?
No,
and then like print them out and hand them to people.
Microsoft Word, man. Listen, here's how it worked. They weren't pictures. It wasn't like that. A meme is like an expression or a statement. All of a sudden, you fucking idiots get a hold of fucking pictures and like, the Tidy Bowl man. Okay, great. Why is that a meme? That's not fucking making a statement about society or showing what society is.
But I mean, like memes have like go back to like pretty much the beginning of the internet. Like,
but the meaning,
you really want to get down to it,
of meme does not translate over to what people call memes now. It's also, I'm gonna do no.
It makes sense because it's like showing culture, right? And memes show culture, and the way that memes have like progressed, especially since like, I mean, 2012. We've come a long way.
Oh, I agree. I won't deny that. It took, I'll tell you, it took somebody an hour when I first found out what a meme was. And I was probably in my early 30s for them to try to explain to me what a meme was because it was breaking my brain. The same thing with a fucking hashtag. Do you know what a hashtag is? It's a number sign.
Yeah, it's the pound sign.
It's a pound sign. It's a number sign. What the fuck is hashtag? Where the fuck did that come from?
Because you tag people with it on Twitter.
No. That's not what it is. And it's still on your fucking phone. Is it a hashtag on your phone? And the reason why it was called to refer to a pound sign on the phone is because you literally hit that. It was like pressing a button on your phone. Like it was a tone you could use.
You know what's really funny? My mom gets mad about the hashtag thing still.
See? Thank you for aging me too. How old? Okay, I'm going to ask a fucked up question. How old are your parents?
My parents, I think my mom's 51 and my dad's 52.
Fuck, so we're pretty close to the same generation. They've got me by like 8 years, something like that, 9 years.
Yeah, they're Gen X, but you know, they act a little boomery.
Your dad acts a little boomery because your dad is military.
Yeah, the military is pretty boomer.
I am closer to your parents' age than you are.
Yeah, that's okay. I've always gotten along better with Gen X than my own generation.
For sure. I mean, I would agree. My girlfriend's the same way. My fiancée, my lady, the beautiful one. She might be standing behind me as I say this, but I'd say it without her in the room. She's also... Actually, she found out, and I think it can include you. You guys are not millennials.
No, you're a millennial until 96, I think.
Until 96?
Or is it 99 when it's the cutoff?
No, it's not. It's before that. I think it's like 94.
Well, I was born in 94. Yeah, 81 to 96.
81 to 96 is your claim that's what a millennial is?
Yeah, and then Generation Z is 96 to present. Although I thought it was a little later. Like I'm right on the tail end of being a millennial.
Yeah, you're right on the tail end, but you're not a millennial, correct?
What is that?
You're Generation Z.
No, I'm a millennial because it's 81 to 96.
It's 81 to 96 for millennials. I'm saying this and repeating it a few times because she happens to be behind me. And I think she's in disagreement with that. She's claiming that's Gen Z.
No, Gen Z is 96 on.
She's totally distracting me right now, and I'm not even going to tell you how.
Yeah, no, it says Gen Z is a cohort after millennials defined as those born from the mid-90s to the early 2000s.
So the mid-90s to the early 2000s.
But even then, like, I mean, I'm on the tail end of being a millennial, but, like, the Gen Zers now are, like, way different than me, like, in a lot of ways. Like, I did a music video shoot with a couple of friends of mine that are in, like, a band right now, and they got this 19-year-old TikTok, like, star to be in their video, and, like, her and her boyfriend talking to me was like a whole nother language. Like, they were saying a lot of things that even I was like, wait, what? I thought I was up on the trends.
Well,
I guess
welcome
I'm not.
to my world. Although that's not true, because I usually, to be honest, hang out with people who are younger than me. Part of that is because of my lady. Part of that is because I went back to school, and we went to a creative school where I connected with people. And I've always, the one thing I respect more than anything else is people's drive and their knowledge and what they're doing and how they're fighting for what they want. So I don't care what the fuck age you are. What I care about is, do you give a shit about what you're doing, and do you have passion for what's going on, or are you a lazy ass? And it really doesn't matter generationally for me. There are guys, plenty of guys younger than me that know more than me. In fact, we've discussed that I produce to put myself out of position to put. The reason why I produce is because while I can make video games, while I can probably direct, I can maybe do lighting. There's some shit I would need to catch up on to do it. While I could do all that stuff, everybody I know tons of people better. So I'm going to put those guys to work. And none of those guys, it's very rare that I've found somebody who's, I can probably count them on my hand, who are my age or older, that are in my circle of people of knowing that have more passion or are better than me, that aren't better than me. They're all better than me, and that's why I work with those people. But that's having faith and a lot of respect in what they do.
I just mean more for like words that I had only ever seen in memes and thought it was just something funny for a meme they're using in, like, everyday speech. And then I thought it was really interesting, like, I was like, should we really be letting this girl smoke on camera? And she's like, oh no, I vape every day. And I was like, wait, what? And I was like, I thought that was just like, you know, the media saying that kids were getting into vaping to scare them. And she's like, no, literally every person I know vapes.
I think it's funny that you're 25 and you're already seeing the difference in your generation, between the generations.
Well, it's like, it's crazy because, like, so Gen X is full of smokers, right? So is baby boomers. And millennials kind of missed that because e-cigarettes didn't come out until, like, late in my high school years, right? Like, they didn't become, like, more popular, and, like, vaping didn't really become popular till I was in college. So if I'm on the tail end of millennials, most millennials missed that. We had the whole DARE program showing us all that shit for cigarettes. There's not a lot of millennials I know that smoke or vape. And if they, like, it's almost frowned upon to vape as a millennial.
Hey.
But then, like, all of Gen Z's vaping now, so it's like smoking, like, just skipped a generation.
I don't know if that's true. Where I work, there are a lot of young people. I would say it's a bit hipsterish. While there's we both went to an art school. It's like going to my work is going to an art school. There's a huge amount of acceptance. There's a huge amount of different types of people, which makes it great. I hear you laugh, but I know you understand what I mean. Like, it is like walking into our college, where it's just an immense amount of acceptance is what I'll say. So there's people from all types of backgrounds, but I will say there's definitely a hipster feel to it. But there are, millennials, and there's Generation Z there, and I will tell you that those motherfuckers suck on those metal dick vape fucking machines all the time.
What, Gen Zers?
Both.
Or millennials as well?
Both. Millennials and Gen Z. They're all doing it.
Most millennials I know, like, kind of look down on you for vaping. Like, I'm trying not to sound fucked up by saying, like, the weird stigma behind Oh, I guess what I could say is that it's kind of like one of those things. Like it's like, yeah, we get it. You vape.
Yeah, I don't know. I smoke and people look down on me all the time, and I know they do. And I fucking look down on myself. It's the dumbest fucking thing in the world. Like, we shouldn't even get into this topic. But
I like a good cigar every once in a while. But
I love cigars and I love to smoke cigarettes. I'm not. We're in California, so I can smoke as much weed as I want. I don't. I'm not a big weed smoker at all. Maybe every once in a really long while. But
yeah, it's once in a while.
Just not. It doesn't work for me. I don't drink alcohol for personal and medical reasons. Medically. Yeah. It will make me sick, so personally, I don't want to get sick. I don't get enough time being drunk. So I'm not into a bunch of shit, but I am into my cigarettes. And I know it's fucking ridiculous. I know it's fucking killing me. But I do it anyway. Because it's like a little fucking meditation, and it's not an excuse to do it. And boys and girls at home, do not smoke. That actually isn't bullshit. Don't pick up a cigarette. It's the dumbest fucking thing you can do. But it is something I do, and I know people look down on me, but I look down on myself. I think vaping's even fucking dumber, though. It just is.
What's even
vaping?
Dumber? Well, I mean, it's less likely to kill you,
no,
right?
Actually, that is not true.
Only 12 confirmed deaths from vaping.
So far. How long has it been out? It's been out like 10 years. That ain't shit.
Only 10.
It's put a bunch of people on life support.
So.
They say a third of the people who have damage from vaping go on life support.
I don't know. I don't know how much is truth and how much is like made up for a lot of that, because some of the smoking statistics weren't necessarily ethically done.
Totally agree. But you're still sucking on a metal dick.
You know what they say about statistics?
You can make them anything you want. You can.
I mean, 70% of all statistics are made up on the spot.
Not to interrupt you, Shay, but the fact is, if you choose to advertise with us and you're a vaping company, we love vaping. Same with cigarettes. Yeah. No, just kidding. Actually, I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't think that I would allow an advertiser such as vape to come on the show to be somebody who supports us. Because
I don't know. I'll just go with you on that. You know what's really funny? A certain podcast that I really trust and admire, won't say who it is, but I'm sure you know.
Oh, yeah, I know. I know who it is. It's a podcast. I told you at some point I will call out.
They recently just did like a vape advertisement, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
But I guess for them, though, at least for one of them, vaping has gotten him off of cigarettes, which is what I thought vaping was like for originally. Like, that's why I was all cool with it when it first started becoming a thing. I was like, well, I mean, it's getting people off cigarettes.
No. That's not a reason.
But now it's just like addicting an entire generation.
It is, and it's doing it worse than cigarettes ever did. And the reason why is because it's flavor.
Yeah. Well, and because it looks like they think it's cool, right? Like, that's what got people into cigarettes in the first place, right? And then, like, I'm sure movies
think it's cool.
Help. It looks badass when someone smokes a cigarette.
But it does.
It looks
how
cool.
fucking retarded does it look when they vape?
Oh, it looks so stupid.
Right. So where's the coolness in vaping? Oh, I can blow a big smoke cloud? You're a fucking retard.
There was a really fun student project that I watched where this guy's like, he's talking to this guy at a table, and I guess they're both gangsters or whatever. One's like representing the Asian mafia, and he's got the sunglasses and like a fedora and everything, and he's like, yeah, man, we'll take care of it. And then he pulls out a vape, and it hits his vape, and then blows smoke out, and it was like the funniest thing I've ever seen. I was like, that is in no way tough.
Was it a big smoke cloud though? Was he cool because he had the super extended, powerful vape?
Oh, it was one of the big fat ones. And the way he was holding it, too. Just the whole thing. I wish that I could find it so I could show you. Maybe I'll, like, have my buddy who got me a copy of it send it to me again so I can send it to you. I've got, like, hookups for really bad short films.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll take a look. I don't know. I doubt. I'm sure it'll just be a moment to laugh.
Yeah. Oh, we used to, every Friday night, we'd get a bunch of short films or find a bunch of short films, and me and my friends would watch them and laugh at them and drink alcohol, and it was great. It just makes you feel a lot better about yourself when you watch somebody else's like garbage project, and it's like you got to make sure not to make those same mistakes.
No, for sure, but we'll still make those same mistakes. You know that, right?
Yeah, but I think that there's like this weird delusion that people get where they're like, wow, I made something, this is great, and they don't realize that they've made garbage. And like, I think knowing when you have and have not made something, you know, worthwhile is important.
I'm going to say something here that is totally true. I recognize the garbage that I've created.
Mm-hmm.
I am a producer, and it is my job to not publicly recognize the garbage that I've created. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I will never, and in truth, here's the one thing I'll say about everything that I've gotten to work on so far, barring one, and I'm just going to leave it as barring one because nobody knows all the projects I've been on. They are, the one thing I can say is the shots are all beautiful. So while there may be a story element missing, while there may be an acting issue, and that acting issue may or not relate to, say, a director or to story, they are shot technically beautiful. And that I do believe is that the shots themselves were all done with a ton of care and a ton of work to make it look technically well.
Sure, but I'm mostly referring to things that just suck all the way around, and they really don't even notice it. I just sent you a really good meme, and I think it's time we wrap this up because we're hitting that time, and I got to eat dinner.
I got to eat dinner too.
It's food time. All right, it's been fun.
All right, man. I will talk to you later, as well as our audience. You guys can all fuck off. If you have anything you want to send us, send it to 30minutebspodcast.com. We'll be hitting all the social media soon as well.
Well, it's at gmail.com.
Oh, yeah, it is at gmail.com. You are going to cut that and fix it. Thank you. Maybe.
All right, I'm going to stop.
All right, me too. Stop.
Big fat, they got